get into the head? Can we get to the bang? Can we get to... Hey, Naomi Campbell walk, Naomi Campbell walk. Let me see you do the. Hold up. And let's get into the fit too. Okay, because it's given. Anyways, let's get into the video because we're gonna be here all day. Y'all know how I be. Y'all know I'm obsessed with myself. So let's just get into the video. Okay, let's get into it. Welcome to the Barbie Life 2.0 podcast. I'm your host Shakira, aka Barbie 2.0. And today we're going to be talking about something crazy that I saw on the internet this week. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I was like going back and forth with video ideas and I was like, I want to put this out. I want to put this out. But I came across this video on TikTok, y'all. And I had to cover this story because I really, it really broke my heart. Okay. So anyways, for those of you who are unaware, there is a company called Ebin New York, okay? And Ebin New York sells hair care products for Black women specifically. It's geared towards the Black community. And they sell stuff like gel and spray to glue your wigs on, adhesive spray, all that stuff. So their company is really geared towards serving the Black female community, okay? But this company recently got exposed for wrongfully terminating a Black woman at their job because they were racially targeting her while she was working there. And I'm not gonna lie, listening to this woman's story, I got so emotional because I have been in that spot where you're the only Black girl in a workplace and it is dark. And it is a lot. So we're going to watch her video and we're going to talk about it. Don't mind me tearing up. Don't worry, y'all. I'm totally fine. I'm just one of those people that is super passionate when I talk. And sometimes when I'm talking about something emotional, the tears will come out. But I promise I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just emotional as fuck. Well, anyways, let's get into the video so we could talk about it.
Story time of me working for Ebin New York as the only Black person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. Ebin New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a Black woman, Black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So
I want to pause the video real quick because I just want to acknowledge the fact that Ebin New York is really geared towards serving the Black female community, but they only had one Black woman in their corporate office. That is already a huge red flag to me. How are you serving the Black female community and you only have one Black woman in your office? That makes no sense to me. That is giving racism already, and I just want to take money from Black people while hating them at the same time. But let's keep going.
I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people or whatever. So there was only one.
Pause. She said the company is really small, like 80 people. So I just want to paint a picture for y'all so you can kind of understand what this woman is going through. Being in a small workplace when it's toxic, especially as the only Black girl, can be very, very, very scary. And it can really hurt your mental health. Because when the office is small and when there's not that much employees, that opens up a lot of room for people to pay attention to you and try to get into your business and then try to gossip about you. And then next thing you know, you got a group of people in the office who are dying to know your business or discussing your business or talking bad about you. And you can't go run to another group of people because the office is so small that, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is being in a small office. And rumors also spread fast this way. Animosity spreads quicker this way. Jealousy spreads quicker this way in smaller offices because it's more competitive, in my opinion. So let's keep this in mind. Like, she's really working at a small company with 80 people, but there's multiple departments. So her department most likely has 10 people at most, or less than that. So she's dealing with a really, really intimate work environment, okay? So let's continue though.
HR person at the time, and this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand, and I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that we're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like,
pause. Y'all, if you don't take any advice from me, please listen to me and touch my hand when I say this. If you go and apply to a job and they make it a point to say that you are going to bring more diversity to their workplace, run. They are using you to complete a quota, and they're not going to give a shit about you when you start working there. And they will overwork you. And they will hold you to an unrealistic high standard compared to everybody else in the workplace. And they will treat you like shit. And they will make you feel like all the hard work you put into that company means nothing. But let's continue.
Well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like...
She said Korean. Now, I don't like to put stereotypes on people. So I'm not going to say that all Korean people are like this. But what I will say is, don't think that the Asian community is not racist because they're a person of color. Okay? Because if you go to Korea and you go to all their home countries in Asia, they treat black people like shit the same way they do in America. So do not think that you are safe because you're amongst people of color, especially the Asian community. Because, baby, one thing about them, they want to be close in proximity to whiteness so bad, they going to power trip over you because they know socioeconomically, they are up the ladder compared to you. So they're going to try to perpetuate racism and all those stuff on you because technically they can. Because technically their socioeconomic status can be racist to you. So don't think you safe when you around people of color, baby. You're not. Sometimes they be worse than white people. But let's continue.
Beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on a corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, you know, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full-time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I could come into the office every day and, you know, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job, and the first day that I went to work, they were just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, you know, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video like I'm doing my big one. it was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk, and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk, and
pause. I just need to point that out because I do be hating coworkers like that. Those coworkers that act like they're your boss, like, babe, we got hired for the same position. We're making the same amount. So how about you stay in your lane? Because you're not writing my checks. So I already understand her frustration. Like, she's working in a small work environment with a whole bunch of non-black people, and she the only black girl, and then she got a coworker who acting like she her boss. Like, bro, I already, like, you gotta really look at what she's going through right now. This girl's in hell. Okay, but let's continue.
I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments, and I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they were just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And I felt some type of way because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help going viral and keep marketing these products and stuff, and I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, ever since that day, I realized like everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything.
Pause, because child, the way I just felt exactly what she experienced is so crazy. I know every educated, beautiful black woman has experienced this, okay? As a black woman, you're not allowed to be the big three. You can't be smart, you can't be pretty, and you can't be nice. If you're all three of those things, you're a threat. Period. And it's clear that her coworkers seen her as a threat because she's clearly a beautiful girl, okay? And she said it herself. She graduated from school and got her degree in communications and marketing. So she's educated, and she deserves to be there the same way all those other people deserve to be there. And I think that those Korean coworkers felt some type of way because this beautiful black woman came into their office and she was able to do something that they weren't even able to do. And that hurt their ego. The fact that she was able to make a viral TikTok and bring in a lot of attention, and they weren't able to do that themselves, made them feel some type of way and made them feel threatened by her. So now she's not a part of the team. Now she's an op. And when we listen to this story, as she continues, you'll start to see that they're going to treat her like an op instead of an employee who's a part of their team. Just off of this one situation where they couldn't stand the fact that a black woman was smart and educated and able to accomplish something that they weren't able to. Simple as that. They felt some type of way because they're like, they weren't expecting, first of all, when you're dealing with racist people, they're not expecting you as a black woman to be smart and educated and kind. They're expecting you to be ghetto, dumb, aggressive, and rude. So when you show them the opposite and you change that stereotype for them, they feel uncomfortable.
Clocky.
Now they have a lost sense of identity because their whole lives, they've been attaching themselves to the fact that they're better than black women and can do more than black women. And now they're like, oh shit, wait, black people can do the same things we can? Black people are educated like us? Black people are pretty? What? Whoa. I thought that I was better than y'all. Now you showing me that I'm not better than y'all? And some of y'all are actually better than me? Oh, hell no. But let's continue.
They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, you know, like, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. You know, we do have a black lady here that's just not Korean and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that, you know,
you see what I'm saying? She already made them feel like she's the smartest in the room. And they feel threatened by that because she's a black woman. And they want to believe those negative stereotypes about black women. They feel comfortable in believing that narrative that Korean people are better than black people. So because she showed them that she's smarter than them, now they're going to try to make her feel stupid. So that's why they're going in meetings and speaking in Korean. Because they know if they give her resources or they let her engage in meetings, she's going to be an asset and she's going to be smarter than them. And that's going to hurt their ego when she has more knowledge. Because keep in mind, this is a company that's serving black women. And she's the only black woman there. So she's going to have more knowledge than them automatically about this stuff. Simple as that. And because she is going to contribute so much and she's going to be smarter than them, they don't want to even like invite that possibility. So you know what? We're going to speak in a different language. So you don't even understand what we're talking about. But let's continue.
Like, there's no way that, you know, everybody was speaking English in the beginning. The first day that I was there, you know, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying. So literally the next week, I came into the office. I go in the bathroom. I come out. My supervisor, my coworkers, no one in a marketing team is in the office. So I'm like, I know for sure the day before, my supervisor was telling me like, oh, we're going to go to New York to set up for this TV show that we're doing or whatever. So I'm like, I know they did not leave me in the office by myself while they're in New York. Like, they went to the New York office. So I contacted my supervisor right away, and he's like, oh, yeah, we did leave you. He didn't really have anything to say. That's the thing that really got to me, is because, like, he really just was like, oh, yeah, we left you. Just do some work, edit some videos or whatever. Like, he didn't have no real reason to be leaving me. Like, he just did not care. So I'm just like, I feel some type of way now because it's like, y'all speaking Korean, y'all leaving me out of things. What, like, is this a team or not? So once I realized, like, they're separating me, I have coworkers that's talking to me any kind of way. The supervisor is just letting the coworkers talk to me any kind of way.
Pause. They went on a whole company trip without her. So do you see what I'm saying? Where it's like they trying to make her feel like she's unworthy and she's stupid. They're going to sit up here and speak in Korean right in front of her, so she doesn't understand what's going on in the meetings. So now she is the dumb black girl because she literally doesn't know what's going on. And then they're going to go on a New York trip and leave her out of it. And one thing about it, babe, the only reason they left her out of it is because she's seen as a threat. And if she went there, she probably could have achieved a lot of things for their company. But the fact that a Black woman is achieving things for their Korean-based company makes them feel away. Because who is this Black woman to be smarter than us Koreans? That's not what I've been brought up to believe. They've all been brought up to believe that they're automatically better than us simply because Black people are stupid and Korean people are smart. So they're already going to not even invite the opportunity for her to show her skills or to show her talent. So that's why they left her in the office. They know she's talented. They know she's smart. And they don't even want to invite the opportunity for her to showcase that. When a person feels like you have the potential to be great, they're going to make sure that they gatekeep, that they keep you out of certain stuff and withhold information and leave you out of things. They're going to make sure that you're not in certain rooms with certain people because they know that you got the potential to be great. And all it takes is you meeting that one person for your big break. Or all it takes is you showcasing your talent to this one group of people for you to do this. And they don't even want to invite that opportunity. So they just going to keep you out the mix completely. Because if you're not in the room, baby, you won't be seen. So that's what they did here. But let's continue.
Not. So once I realized like they're separating me, I have coworkers that's talking to me any kind of way. The supervisor is just letting the coworkers talk to me any kind of way. I guess she thought that she was a supervisor, but we were literally on the same position. The first day, that was the only time she was nice to me. I guess once my video went viral, something switched. She was just like, oh, there's competition. I don't know, but I don't work like that. Like, if we're a team, we are a team. There's no reason for y'all to be like treating me any type of way. I'm new here, number one. I'm still trying to get the feel of things. I guess they felt intimidated. I don't know. But at that point, I just felt like, why am I in this office every day? Y'all are speaking Korean. Y'all don't want to speak to me at all. I'm at the lunch table trying to figure out where I'm going to go sit at. Because the Korean culture, like, they all sit together. They talk. I sat with them like 1 or 2 days, the first 2 days, and they were just speaking Korean. They did not care. I just felt like that was so rude. So at this point, I'm feeling very uncomfortable about working there, but I'm still just like, you know, I'm very new. Hopefully it'll change. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I went to HR and I complained. Y'all know when people say like HR is not on your side, like HR is not your team. They're just here to protect the company. That's 100% true. In this case, I went to the HR lady and I was telling her, like, I feel very uncomfortable. There are incidents that's going on and I just feel like something has to be done because this is not the way I know that, you know, a corporate is supposed to be ran. And I'm not supposed to be getting treated like this. I'm a new employee. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I still feel like I'm being left out. Why is that? So she's just like, oh, I understand. Like, I'll speak to the marketing team. I'll speak to your supervisor. I'll try to get them back on track and try to get them, you know, to work with you. When I tell you guys, I worked since August. I was complaining all the way up until January about these things. I even had to take a mental health leave because of this. It was messing with me every single day. The way they treated me, it was like they were micromanaging me a lot. So the Korean culture, like work culture, is very different. I get that. But the way I'm saying they're micromanaging me, every employee at Ebin New York, they have to write down their daily tasks in Asana, right? The daily tasks, you have to put each hour what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So mine, I had to make sure I put, like, I edited 10 videos today. I posted this. I emailed this person. I reached out to influencers. I did this. Like, my Asana had a whole book of things. And I would get emails when my coworkers would post on their Asana, like upload their stuff. And you can just literally see they would have like 3 bullet points, quick things like scheduler emails, this, that, like very broad. And I was the one that had to put everything in detail, make sure the links was there. Every single thing, guys. I just felt like, what is going on?
Okay, pause. You see, one thing about it, when you're a Black woman in the workplace, you will be held to a higher standard compared to everybody else, okay? There's not that much room for you to make flaws. John can make a whole bunch of mistakes, okay? John could send his reports half-assed, and he could make, like, negative dollars for the company and still be one of the most favorable co-workers there. But a black woman, they want you to be damn near perfect. Because if you invite any opportunity for them to pick on something or for them to pinpoint a flaw you have, they will make sure that they exaggerate that flaw and make it the biggest deal in the world so that they can chase you out the job or so they can have an excuse to fire you. But let's continue.
You know what made it worse? The CEO of the company decided that I need to start having presentations with him, the vice president, HR, and the whole marketing team. And I had to let him know exactly what I was doing. I had to show him every post that I made, everything that I edited, everything, you know, outreach to influencers, every single thing. So at this point, I'm a little frustrated because it's like, now it's new other Koreans coming in doing the same thing, you know, like marketing and things like that in the same marketing room. And no one has had to do this presentation. I even asked people that were there before me, I'm like, have you guys ever had to do this presentation? They're like, no, I don't know why you had to do it. That's a problem. He's basically just telling me like, I don't know why you have to do all this, but that's very insane of you to have to sit there and like literally show them what you're doing.
And this is another method of them trying to make her feel stupid. You know, first it was them speaking in Korean in front of her so she doesn't know what's going on in the meetings. So now she feels stupid. Then it's them leaving her out of company trips so that she feels like she's not worthy of being in the same rooms as them. And now they're micromanaging her so hard to the point where they're making her feel like she can't even independently work efficiently. She needs somebody to baby her and coddle her for her to actually put out good work, when that's not the case. She's actually the smartest one in that office. But because they want to believe those negative stereotypes about Black women, they're going to continue to put her in that box and treat her as such. But let's continue.
When you literally are writing it down just how any other co-worker is doing. What really made me feel some type of way is the CEO still didn't care. Like he just had this look on his face like a disgust look. And I was just like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's just like, I just don't see. Like, I just don't get what you do, or I don't get your job. And I was just like, well, didn't you hire me? Like, I'm pretty sure you, the company, being that he's the CEO, I get that. You guys are probably like, well, he probably didn't hire, he don't know. He goes through every single thing. He's there. Like, he's on your back.
And she's right. It's a small company. And when you're working at a small company, the CEO, they know everything. It's not like you're working at Chase Bank or Wells Fargo and the CEO doesn't know the local employees at branch 7 in Wisconsin. It's not like that. When you're working at a small company with 50 to 80 employees, the CEO actually goes through everything and he sees everything and he knows all the employees and he's more deep into the operations and things like that. So what she's saying is true. He hired her and he knew her from the jump. So this whole him trying to make her belittle her, he's trying to patronize her and belittle her right now. I don't get what you do. You hired me. What do you mean? Why are you trying to, like, what do you mean you don't get what I do? What did you hire me for? I don't get what your job is. What do you even do? What have you contributed to this company? Trying to belittle her and make her feel like she's small. Because genuinely, they feel small next to her because they know that she's the smartest bitch in this room. But they see her as a threat. And the best way to hurt your threat is to get under their skin and get in their head and make them feel like they are the underdog when you feel like you are. And it's all projection. But let's continue.
While you work. He knew that I was going to get hired for the position, what I do, and everything like that. So for you to be talking to me saying, like, I just don't see what you do, and I don't get your job, and are you even happy here? Because if you're not happy here, then you can get out. He told me that.
And ladies, I just got to pause before I say this. Ladies, if you're ever at a workplace where they're treating you like this, you better get on Indeed and start applying to 30+ jobs every single day. I'm never going to tell you to just quit a job just like that. But definitely start actively looking for a new job And when you get hired somewhere else, leave. Never leave a job just like that. Always have a backup. But when you start to peep that the work environment is toxic, you got to create an exit plan. But let's continue.
Ebin New York had just took ownership of a black-owned company. They were the first ones to do Jamaican black castor oil, and, you know, they have hair products, all that good stuff. I don't really want to talk about the brand that they just, you know, kind of pushed me onto, because I was complaining so much to HR about me not feeling included with working under Ebin New York specifically. But basically they pushed me on to another brand that they took ownership of, and I did the social media for that specific brand. I was still in the same office with all the Koreans, you know, in the marketing room, in that same room, but now I just don't have a team. They told me that I'll have a new supervisor. The supervisor had no experience in marketing. He doesn't know nothing that I'm doing at all. He thinks that I'm just sitting there on my phone all day, because he doesn't realize that I use my phone to edit videos, and I use my iPad to edit all these videos and do all the graphics and things. And he's just sitting there trying to go back into CEO and the vice president and tell them, oh, she doesn't do anything, or like she just does the bare minimum. Like, it just seemed like they looked for any little thing just to try to get me out of there. He told someone that he was trying to get me fired, if that makes sense, and it got back to me. This same new supervisor, guys, guess what he did? He told me to read over a resume. He literally handed me a paper, and he told me to read the name to see if it was a black name. A black name. What is... So I'm looking at it, I'm like, a black name? What do you mean by that? A black name? And what are you gonna do with it? And I was like, no, the last name actually was like, you can tell it was like a Hispanic name. But I was just like, what's your point, you know? And he never said anything. He was like, no, that's a black name. And then he snatched the resume back, and then that was just that. He was very rude, guys, and it was just like, it was unbelievable, the stuff that I was going through. I'm gonna give you guys another example. I had to travel to Atlanta for a photo shoot for a new line that we were doing, and this new supervisor, he had to book my hotel and stuff. So I had to travel by myself. Usually, like, I travel with coworkers and stuff. I was the only one that was traveling. I had to meet people that were already in Atlanta and do everything else. So I'm just fine with that. It is what it is. So I get to Atlanta. I have the Uber take me to the address of the hotel. Guys, when I tell y'all, this looked like a motel. It was bugs in the room. It was stuff all in the bed. It wasn't a hotel, I'll give you that. Like, it wasn't like just one tall building, nothing like that. It was like literally little rooms, each everywhere. So at this point, I was traveling all day. It was like 6, 7 p.m. I'm trying to walk. It was like later than that, actually, because it was like getting dark. So they had me all the way in the back. So I'm already feeling uneasy. I'm by myself out in Atlanta, and this is where y'all put me in. Y'all have all this money, and y'all want to put me in a hotel like this? Y'all playing in my face. I was cool with 2 other workers that's in a different department. So I'm contacting them. I'm like, when y'all have to travel with, you know, Ebin, do you guys get treated like this, or are you guys in a nicer hotel? Everyone's just shocked, completely shocked. They're like, I've never been in a hotel like that. I don't know where they have you, but you need to leave. And at that point, I'm just like, I definitely need to leave. I don't feel safe here. The part that they had me in was all the way in the back. It was just a mess. I'm gonna insert some pictures in here so y'all can see it as I'm talking. But so once I realized I don't feel comfortable staying at this hotel, motel, whatever it was, I called him. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. I already booked it, and there's nothing we could do. Bye. And hung up. I kid you not. That's all he did. While I'm sitting there on the verge of crying, saying, you know, I feel unsafe. The room is dirty, and, you know, it's not really a hotel that I feel comfortable in, anything like that. He just said, I'm unsafe.
So she had a company trip, and they booked her a hotel. They booked her a motel. They weren't even nice enough to book her a hotel. They booked her a motel with a bunch of bugs and roaches. But let's continue. Let's finish the rest of the story. Sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to deal with it. Bye. Do you know how crazy I felt for my supervisor to do that, to book something like that, and then just say, I don't know what to tell you, and hang up in my face? At that point, it was just clear as day that they did not care about me at all. They just wanted me to get some work done, and that was it. If I didn't want to quit, they were going to just show me that you need to just quit, because that's it. I have like a whole list of stuff in my iPad that I wrote down each and every day. That's how bad it was, guys. Like, it was always something going on inside this office with me. It was like they were just attacking and attacking.
And I just want to pause the video. For any black women, if you are in a workplace that's toxic, document. One thing she did that was correct here, that's why she could sit up and make this TikTok video. She knows that Ebin New York, no matter what lawyers they get, they can't play with her because she documented on a daily basis. You need to document in the workplace. The minute you feel uneasy, document. I'm talking dates, time, situations, scenarios, details, recordings, everything. Because when you're defending yourself, especially against racial discrimination, you will be gaslighted. And unless you have hard proof, you can't really prove shit. Literally, like, unless you have hard proof, no one's going to believe you or take it serious. So you need to document. So props to her for that. But let's continue.
And I had to just go to the bathroom every day and just cry and call my mother or call someone and just tell them what's going on. They couldn't believe I was going through all of that. And just to back it on up really quick, guys, there are 2 people that were working for the brand that they switched me to, if that makes sense. Like, they were on a contract because they still had to show the Koreans how to work, you know, how to work their company, if that makes sense. So I was in close contact with those 2 women, and one of the head of departments of marketing, he actually asked me, was I having a meeting with my grandmothers today? And by grandmothers, he meant those 2 black women, my grandmothers. Why would that be my grandmothers? And why is that appropriate to say in a workplace, anywhere? You don't know if my grandmother's dead, anything. I just couldn't believe that they would be talking to me like this. It was just insane.
And you know, another red flag that I want to point out is the fact that they are a Korean company. And do not ever work for a company that is based in America but owned by non-Americans. Because in their country, they have different social expectations when it comes to racism compared to America. And I know we talk about how racism is super bad in America, but at the end of the day, there are certain boundaries and certain things that people cannot do, or they will lose their job and be held accountable for it in America. Like, you can't just flat out say the N-word as a white person in the workplace and think that you're going to keep your job. But in other countries, they can do that. And I think America is more strict about what can and cannot be said versus other countries. And you got to keep in mind, like, when you are working in America for a company that's owned by non-Americans, they're going to bring their social expectations from their home country into the workplace.
Clock it.
And you know what's crazy? I just bought Ebin New York products off of Amazon, and I'm about to return them. Dead ass. I just bought it, and I'm still within the 30 days, so I can return them, and I am going to return them. But I dead ass bought them. Before she told this story, I was going on TikTok, and I was like, okay, when I take off the bangs, I'm going to want to glue this on, but I want an alternative that's not Got2b, because, you know, I've been using Got2b forever. So I was like, let me try something else. And I got a lot of good reviews from Ebin, so I ordered it. But baby, after this story, you're not getting my coins. You're going back to the warehouse. Yeah, got to go. Sorry, Ebin. Maybe next year, maybe next life. But you had to be a stupid company. You had to be so stupid to think that you can sell these products to black women while treating black women like shit in your workplace. You are delusional. You are insane, and you are not getting any of our coins anymore. I am returning these products ASAP, no Rocky. No longer supporting. Everyone, please. No longer supports. If I see you using Ebin products, we got beef. Because there's other alternatives. Baby, there's got to be. There's the olive oil brand. There's a lot of other brands, okay? There's a new brand on the TikTok shop. So it's no reason for y'all to even be buying this. Because it's a lot of alternatives. So, she's trash.
Clock it.
Yeah. I feel bad for this woman. My prayers go out to her. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this video, because there were definitely a lot of life lessons, especially for my young, educated black women out there who are working and just being amazing women. You know how black women are. We're never bums. We always get to the bag. So I think this is a great video for many of you who are entering the workplace. And I just always want you guys to keep your head up and never, ever, 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 and I mean ever, let anybody make you feel like you're not worthy or you're not smart enough or you don't belong somewhere, because you are educated. You are beautiful. You are the blueprint, and you deserve to be in the same spaces as successful people. And don't ever let people make you feel like you don't belong in successful spaces because you're a black woman. Your work speaks for itself. Your grind speaks for itself. Okay? Even me, I've been around people who would try to make me feel like I didn't belong in the same room as them because I'm a black girl. But don't ever let anybody discredit you. Because at the end of the day, you as a black woman had to put in 10 times more work to get in the same room as other people. So make sure they put respect on your name. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like you don't belong in successful rooms, or you are out of place, or you're a little fish in a big pond. No. Especially when you are definitely one of the smartest in the room, because black women are the most educated in America. So don't ever let anybody patronize you or make you feel like you're small. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Besos.